I'm on a train on platform 1 at Finchley Central. This is the shuttle that runs between here up to Mill Hill East, which is the end of the line here at this end of the Northern Line. Let's do it.
From Finchley Central heading north, trains curve off to the right to head up towards High Barnet, and it's actually the line that goes straight on that leads up to the branch line anomaly that is Mill Hill East. It sees a 15-minute service that used to be a shuttle between Finchley Central, but now has direct trains all day. Mill Hill East is here because this is as far as the line was electrified back in the 1930s. And for a full history on how the Northern Line was meant to go further but didn't, then watch this video here on the history of the Northern Heights. But back to the tube.
Mill Hill East, by the way, is a really good place to get an empty carriage on the Northern Line. I'd say probably even at the height of the rush hour, when you get on this train and you come up to Mill Hill East, it's more than likely you'll be sat in an empty carriage, probably.
The station has a single platform. There's only 4 stations on the network that have single platforms, and it has 22 steps up from the street to platform level. But also, recently, became a step-free station.
Yeah, when I came here before for the Northern Line's least used station, there were steps and no lifts. Since I was here for that video, they've now installed a lift, making Mill Hill East step-free.
Now, trains used to shuttle between here and Finchley Central, with direct services in the peak hours only. But recent timetable changes now means that there's a direct through service all day with trains to and from Mill Hill East. But when trains arrive and terminate here, then what is beyond the end of the line?
So the train that I arrived on has just left, but I need to come to this end of the platform to look to see what is in this direction heading north beyond the end of the line, because trains used to go further towards Edgware.
Exit the station, turn left, and you can walk along the point where the railway used to go further, all the way to Edgware.
Now I'm recording this on a lovely summer's day. It's the last week of August, the sun is out, it's beautiful, loving the weather. But if you peer through this fence here, in this direction, you can see, the next train's just pulled in where the end of the line is for the Northern Line here at Mill Hill East. And if you head off in this direction, you can see where the railway used to run.
It feels like a pleasant countryside walk that you can take, and includes several points like this where a road bridge now goes over nothing where the railway line used to be. Back to the Zone 4 station of Mill Hill East in the leafy suburbs, and it was time to see what else it had to offer.
So in the tiny waiting room here at Mill Hill East, on these fabulous green benches being held up with these rather sort of ornate pieces of ironwork. Is that lovely? Never seen those before. The labyrinth is in here, there's a help point in here, and let's see what other facilities Mill Hill East has too.
The station has a car park, bingo, bus stop, dot matrix indicators, litter bins, and this, a nice old clock as well.
And when I was here before, we were doing it as part of least used stations, and this is the least used station on the Northern Line, but instead I'll give you overall passenger stats for all of the end of the line stations, and I believe I'm right in thinking, there's a map on screen now, that Mill Hill East actually gets more than West Ruislip does.
Yes, Mill Hill East gets 764,644 passengers a year. That's busier than Chesham and West Ruislip. You can download the stats from the link in the description.
It's a lovely day. August, summer, gentle breeze, birds and trees, the occasional train, sometimes even the occasional passenger. I think I'll have a nap.
And in my dreamlike state, I suddenly remembered that there was one more thing that I had to go and do.
So if some of you choose to come and visit some of these end-of-line stations for yourself off the back of seeing this series, then there is definitely one thing you need to do if you come here to Mill Hill East, which I'm walking to now, and that's to go and see, well, this thing which I'm about to see around the corner, just down here, around to the right.
You need to come down and see where underground trains roll across the Dollis Brook Viaduct. Standing at 60 feet above ground level, it's the highest point that tube trains travel anywhere on the network. Come and stand beneath it and look up for an impressive view.
And that is a secret bonus episode, what is in effect episode 21 of End of the Line, playlist coming up on screen if you want to check out all the other videos in the series. Also check out links in the description, more in there as well. Thanks for watching, press subscribe, more videos coming up soon. See ya, bye.